The Talking Futon. Long ago, in the town of Inaba, now Tottori Prefecture, there was a small inn. One winter evening, a man staying at the inn was awakened in the middle of the night by a voice. "Brother, aren't you cold? You must be cold too." It was a whispering child's voice. Whose child could that be? There's no one else in this room, the man thought. He got out of bed and peeked into the next room, but he didn't hear a sound. Strange, I was sure I heard something. When he got back into bed and tried to sleep again, the whisper came clearly to his ear. "Brother, aren't you cold? You must be cold too." Startled, the man jumped up and hurriedly lit the lantern, but the room was empty. He could only hear the pounding of his own heart. Leaving the lantern on, he lay back down. Again, the sad whispering began. "Brother, aren't you cold? You must be cold too." The voice was coming from under the futon. He threw off the covers and rolled out of the room, running to the innkeeper. "It's terrible. The futon is talking." "Come on, that's ridiculous." "You must have been dreaming," said the innkeeper. It wasn't a dream. The futon really spoke. Dreams can seem very real, you know. I told you, it wasn't a dream. Despite the man's insistence, the innkeeper didn't believe him. In fact, the innkeeper got angry and said, "This is nonsense. I'm afraid you'll have to leave." The next night, another guest fled the same room at midnight, claiming the same thing. Two strange guests in a row? Maybe there really is a ghost. The innkeeper decided to investigate. He went to the room and sat by the futon for a while. Sure enough, he heard the whispering. "Brother, aren't you cold? You must be cold too." Pale with fright, the innkeeper ran out of the room. "It's true. But how could anyone sell me such a cursed futon?" The next day, the innkeeper went to the second-hand shop where he had bought the futon and demanded an explanation. The shopkeeper told him a very sad story. At the edge of town lived a poor family of 4. A few days earlier, the father had died of illness, followed by the mother. The 6-year-old and 4-year-old brothers were left alone. With no relatives to take care of them, they had nothing to eat and huddled together under their only futon. "Brother, aren't you cold?" the younger brother would say, trying to cover his brother with the futon. "You must be cold too," the older brother would reply, covering his brother instead. A greedy landlord came and took away their only futon as payment for rent and threw the boys out of the house. Weak from hunger, they couldn't even walk. On a snowy night, they died, huddled together under the eaves of a nearby house. The townspeople, learning of this tragedy, buried the brothers at the local Kannon shrine. "I see, how sad," the innkeeper said. He decided to visit the shrine and have a priest recite sutras for the souls of the poor brothers. From then on, the futon never spoke again.